I mean, I know you're not going to tell us exactly.
Exactly right.
But conceptually, how does it change the way you approach?
We can't change a lot. The next guy up, we've said it all year, there's unfortunate opportunity for someone to step in and help us. It's unfortunate because Jonas was hitting, I mean, that was going to be one of his best games of the whole, Indiana series and this series. So, but fortunate for someone else is an opportunity to step in and do what is going to help us. We can't change schematically or philosophically what we do, so that's not going to change.
And if it is potentially Biz who starts tomorrow, does it give you some confidence knowing what you did in the latter half?
It doesn't matter who starts. That person is going to have to come in and fill a role of screening, rebounding, defending his position, and adding to the team.
Through 10 playoff games, was Jonas your best player?
The first few, I don't know. It's hard to say who's the best. Everyone contributed in their own way. Even though Kyle didn't score, I thought he contributed in wins in both playoff series, Steve. So it's hard to say who's the best. I do know that Jonas was getting better every game at doing something, whether playing with confidence, screening properly, defending his position, doing a better job in the pick and roll defensive schemes. He was growing, and it's unfortunate, but because I thought last night was going to be one of his best performances.
What does small ball present challenges to you?
Rim protection, I think, is the main thing. It helps us switching. It helps us in a lot of other areas where we can guard different positions with all 5 guys. But as far as rim protection, it presents an issue for us. We worked on some things today to help us from that standpoint. If we do play small, what we can do in different situations.
And offensively, you can probably get more switches and get matchups that way?
Well, we can play faster, play with some more pace, again, cause some confusion versus their switches is something we can do. So the good outweighs the bad for us.
Do you prefer to go small in spurts as opposed to, long? I'm not trying to get what you're going to do now.
Right. No, that's always it, because again, the rim is the same height as 10 foot, and it's big people do count, and so that's always going. So you don't want I'm not a believer that you can play small for a longer period of times, and you can play with your big in there. So, but I think we're built to play both ways. That's going to be a positive for us.
Dwane, is this a wash if it is Whiteside and JV out for the rest of the series?
Well, again, I'm not going to say that because we don't know if Whiteside I think it's been day to day. So we're preparing as if he's going to play, and you're also prepared if he's not going to play. So you have to be prepared both ways. Again, they're an active team. Their defense picks up. They play faster with him out. But also they don't have like us, they don't have the rim protection with him, not being there.
Would you say Whiteside is as important to them as JV is to you?
It's hard to say. I know how important JV is to us, is for the crux of what we're trying to do, just his size and his rebounding, his added scoring that he was giving us. So, I know how important. I can't say. I know you have to prepare for Whiteside just because of the rim protection, so, and his shot blocking ability. But you have to ask them how important, if he's the most important guy to their team.
Okay, you got Kyle going last night. What can you think DeMar can get to that same kind of night, breakout, welcome back night?
Well, Doug, I think by Kyle shooting the ball that way, that takes the pressure off of everybody. Now everybody can kind of go back to their role of who they are, and it takes the pressure off of a lot of folks, whether it's the roll man, the guys around him. The defense has to shift a little bit more and come off of DeMar a little bit more. So it opens up a lot of things when either one of them are shooting the ball the way Kyle was shooting it last night.
You seem to be getting a lot of those 17, 18-foot jumpers coming around screens. To knock those down opens everything up.
It does. It really does. It opens up the floor, and then when he's making the threes, it really helps too. So it's good to see him, I think, to get the lid off the bucket, see the ball go through the basket will give him some confidence. And so, but again, I think it relaxes everybody because everybody's excited for Kyle, and it loosens up the defense, the attention on them, and the pressure on them to score.
When you saw JV go down last night, how closely did you see the play, and then what was your initial thinking?
My initial, I thought it was just a, little sprain. I thought he'd be back, and then they said he wasn't going to come back, because you see those all the time, and he's a tough kid, so I thought he would come back. But when he didn't come back, I knew it was probably a little bit more severe than I first thought. I saw the play; he came down awkwardly on the side, so I didn't think it was that serious when it first happened. But once he didn't come back, Steve, I knew it was, because he's usually tape me up tighter and get back in there type of kid.
Did you talk to him today?
Yes, I did.
You guys, you had the defensive gap the other night where Dragic got the open three, and then last night Joe got the open three. Is it miscommunication again last night, or is it?
Yeah, it's miscommunication. Guys over-helping. Got to be disciplined in those situations. We addressed that this morning, and that's very important, because it's 2 games in a row where we fall asleep on a miscommunication or misassignment. So that's something that we got to make sure, because these games are all coming down to 1 or 2 possession games at the end, and you make a mistake in those situations, it's Katie bar the door. So we got to make sure we understand what we're doing and be disciplined in those situations.
Dwane, how do you deal with something that pops up in the series that's not a scouting report, like Dwayne Wade's 3-point shooting?
Well, again, you know how great a player he is. So him scoring is not a surprise, but him venturing out to 3, it was, we got to make sure we respect the 3-point line with him now. We know he's a great scorer in different ways, but now he's added that he's reminded himself that he can score from the 3-point line. So we got to make sure we are closing out to him in the right way.